You might notice that my background has changed. I am not currently in a van. I am at my parents' house back in North Carolina, which is my home base. And I'm here for a couple of reasons. The first reason is I want to make some modifications and additions to the van. The second reason is I want to vote in person in the state in which I'm registered in currently. The third reason is I want to pare down and bring along some of the outdoor items that I didn't have for the first 4 months on my van life experiment. So those are my stand-up paddleboard and a bike of some sort, whether that's the pedal bike that I currently own or an e-bike, a moped, a dirt bike, a motorcycle. I'm not sure what it is. So if you guys have any suggestions for a second mode of transportation, please let me know down in the comments why you recommend it, what it is, so that I can consider all of my options. Before we get into the video, I am asking you to make a donation, either a financial contribution or if you have the free time, to any of the Hurricane Helene lists that I have noted below in the description. The devastation that Western North Carolina and the surrounding area are experiencing currently is unknown in that area, and there are families that are torn apart either by losing their home or losing each other. I have a lot of friends that have been impacted directly, and it's extremely sad to see what has transpired. So if you can, please make a contribution, and I'll put links down below. Thank you. All right, let's jump into this week's video. We accomplished a lot, we started a lot, and we also were in a bit of a time crunch. So when we started this month, we knew that my parents were going to be gone next month, and that would be month 6 of the build, which meant that I was left doing some very critical tasks, thankfully not plumbing and not electrical, because that probably wouldn't have worked well. But I had some critical tasks that I needed to tackle while they were away. So we wanted to get the van build in a good place so that I could accomplish those tasks while they were gone. Our first task is to finish installing the electrical system and test all of the things. Currently testing to see if the inverter is working off of battery power.
Nope, nothing.
Oh, maybe not. Trying this one now.
Nope.
After a few tweaks, we got it to work. It's very dark in here, but look, we have power. What's this guy? This looks like a plus or a on-off. Ooh.
Look, you got power.
Oh my gosh.
16 degrees centigrade. Must be too cold for it, huh?
Maybe. No. It's blowing. It works. Woo-hoo! Lazy, we got power
Everywhere.
Task 2 was staining and sealing the window frame for the bunk window. While selecting stain, I asked for y'all's input on Instagram. This is my window box, and I'm getting ready to stain it with some Early American. This will be 2/3 and then 1/3 cherry. And I'm going to put these on the back side, and then those will be painted black. I have some Rust-Oleum, so that will have to do. But yeah, getting ready to stain. Can't wait. So what do you guys think of the color? Not too yellow, not too red, not too brown, just right. Our next task was to install the roof rack, except we experienced a slight hiccup. I am getting ready to watch the dogs play with the Frisbee. Nope, just kidding. take the plugs off of the roof so that I can start to install my roof rack. Yesterday was challenging, scary. We got the rails on the van, but I need to install the cross bars today, and it's cold. So I got coffee and lots of layers, and hopefully today we don't drop any rails on the ground. Almost took out a dog yesterday. That would not have been pretty. So safety first, right? Here's a look at the finished product and a PSA to put your dogs in the house while installing your roof rack. Next up, we installed the Wii Boost on the passenger side, but I quickly learned you should put it on the driver's side. Task number 4 was to install the drawer. Dad's getting ready to put the drawer into that opening right there so that we can extend the bed to a queen. Look what Dad made me now, a drawer, which will help this turn into a queen-size bed lengthwise, north and south. Dad working his Bondo magic. We used heavy-duty drawer slides that lock to keep it in place while driving. I've been waiting for this next task for such a long time. It's time to finally start on the ceiling with some cedar planks. Preconditioning of the majority of the boards is done. I still have that section to do. First coat of stain is on the majority of the boards. I still have to do those, but almost done. We finally get to put the walls up, but of course it takes longer than you anticipate. I think the hardest part about cutting the wall panels was managing the large sheets of 1/4-inch plywood because boy are they flimsy. The control panel is going there. And there's the window. The last piece that my dad and I worked on before my parents left for vacation was installing the control panel. Every week I share with you guys what I learned from this process. And I think the key takeaway outside of safety first is that everything is connected, especially when you're working in a small space. My van is an extended high roof, roughly 84 square feet. And when you're working in a tiny space, one, only so many people can fit in there at a time, usually about 2, and that's it. If you add a dog, then it just adds more chaos and it feels slightly more cramped, depending on your layout. That's how my layout feels. Speaking of a dog, there's Blaze. Uh, and I think the other thing is that projects, you are starting and stopping projects along the way because you can't finish one without the other, or you can't start one without starting the other or 5 other projects. And when you get further along in the build process, things start to fall into place and you start completing things like much faster, one after the other, and you feel more successful. They may not be as big of a project like installing a Wii Boost, not that big, not that. I mean, it's important to have some extra security for communication purposes, but otherwise, like, it's not that complicated to install. So yeah, I would say everything is connected. Eventually, everything will fall into place for you guys, and just to keep plugging along. That's my key takeaway this time. With every van build series video that I share with you guys, I give you a rough estimate of how much it costs. And so this month, our grand total, when we finish all of month 5, we're around $12,066. We installed the roof rack, the Wii Boost. There were all the drawer components, light switches, AC outlets and boxes, 12-volt outlets, breakers and fuses. We had to buy additional Victron equipment so that everything could communicate. And then when you add that to the prior month's total, you're at $12,066. We're getting close to the budget. Do we exceed it? We shall see. Thank you guys so much for sticking around to the end of the video. If you haven't already, please like, subscribe, hit the bell so that you receive notifications, and share this video if you found it helpful in any way. Let me know in the comments below any questions you might have, thoughts on the build so far. Stay tuned until next week when I share month 6 of our van build series, where you get to see me struggle with all of the things while my parents are away. Take good care of yourselves and of each other.